Boom, 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 boom. Aunty, good morning, Banter fam. Oh, I'll turn that down. I'm a bit of an echo. Pull up with your morning coffee. It's rainy outside, but we're here. Coach's Corner's going down. Thursday Banter session. Catch up from Tuesday because the internet went and blown up. We didn't know what to do. But we're here with the good vibes again. How are we, brothers?
Good. Very, very good. So, we were just talking offline that, I've woken up with like a pep in my step, but I know by 11 o'clock I'm going to be asleep.
Definitely. But that's okay. You can have a little grandpa nap. You can have a little nap. But is it because you did the early morning or like, is it, what's the kick in your step?
Actually,
you
no.
To see Canny?
Yeah, probably. No, but so I was, so last night, Sol, I go to bed with Sol, me and he's asleep, snoring away, and then all of a sudden Ayla decides to jump in the bed, and she's long. She's like, the length of autumn. So it's like really uncomfortable. So there's me, and then Ayla's lying sideways, and then Sol. So I literally was on a Super King bed sitting in the corner, and I didn't get much sleep. So maybe I'm just like overtired, and I'm kind of riding that second wave. So I've done a ton of work this morning.
Exciting. And how are you, Canny?
Yeah, all good. Things are going all good.
Busy?
Best, yeah.
Look at that, yeah.
Keeping busy. I can feel for Abe because I'm like that every night. I'm like the side of the bed, like about to fall off the bed. And Becky's got like all the room in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how you guys let that happen. Like, is it just
I know how it happens. I know how it
How?
happens. So I reckon guys just get way hotter than girls. So they like, and if you're next to them, it gets really hot. So you're like, so you move away. But then they're like, oh nah. And then they move back and they're like, I'm getting hot. And before you know it, you're like almost off the bed or up against or whatever. And then they've got all the room, and then they're just like, that's how it works. That's what happens.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the person that also I'm the Becky in the situation. But for me, I'm like, what all this room? Come on. I just want to touch your leg. Let me touch your leg. Can my toe touch your leg?
Yeah. It's like claw feet, It's just like this. It's like that, and it's like, I was like,
Who else can relate to that though? I bet you not all males are like on the edge of the bed. And
I'd say most would be.
How that happens.
Yeah.
I don't understand how I'm just like, just push back. Just say you're taking the side of the bed, and I'll move over.
Because what we don't want is World War III at 2 a.m, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to go, wait, just get across there. And it's like, no, because I don't want to then have a discussion.
Yeah.
I'm trying to so I'm in a sleep, and I don't want to get out of a sleep to then get back into a sleep. I'm happy just to. I'm like I'm just gonna take it.
That's exactly right. I reckon it's like you're like half asleep, and it's like it's not worth fully waking up. But like be awake for the next 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna be half asleep and just be real tired the next day. I'm gonna have this really uncomfortable sleep, and that's worth more than waking this person up and having World War III.
And then it's the funniest when like they're combed out. Like me, I'm combed out. Like no waking me up. I'm sorry. That's so funny. Anyways, we got an exciting banter session. Coach's Corner's here to ask. What have you got? And what are the questions today, Chief?
So we going to talk about Ricky Garard first up. So for those that don't know, Ricky Garard in 2017, he competed at the CrossFit Games as a rookie, got third. He's from Aussie, ex-super rugby player. And then 2 or 3 months later, he got found out that he had taken drugs to compete. So he got banned for 4 years. That ban ended on the 3rd of October this year. And as a result, he has already been invited to one of the most prestigious fitness competitions already, which is an invite-only one, which is Dubai CrossFit Championships, which is held in December, I think 16th, 17th, and 18th of this year over in Dubai. It's the richest prize purse outside of the CrossFit Games. it is the only competition where every athlete will receive money. And so there's a lot of consensus around all of that. And then we're going to talk about our picks for top 3 male and female. It is a legit games roster, so we're going to try and sift through who we think is going to be our top 3, and we'll probably both get it wrong. And then we're going to talk about our most disliked movement. It's pretty obvious what I'm going to pick, but for Canny, I'll be interested in seeing what he does. So that's what we have on Coach's Corner today.
No, that's exciting. First up though, bro, Canny, how you doing? How's work? How's training? How's life? You all good?
Yeah, everything's going all good. Pretty much officially got the coach's role at the
Awesome.
gym I'm at, which is pretty cool. So been coaching there. A couple of nights a week, and then also looking to do some PT sessions there and other things like that. So this week's this has been my first official week, really. It's been awesome, and then training's been really good. Other than that, nothing much to say over here. There's been I don't know if you guys have read it, but there's been a shortage of petrol here. Have you guys read that?
No.
Yeah.
Or seen that?
No.
I don't know how that's happened. But so there's been there's not a shortage of petrol, but a shortage of drivers to deliver the petrol. So you literally go to a gas station and there's it's seriously like a 45-minute wait to fill up your car. There's just lines. They go forever. And so I've been having to either go in the middle of the day and then it's not too bad, or you have to go at 1 in the morning or something when everyone's.
Bro, could you imagine me? Could you imagine me? I wouldn't even make it in the line.
Yeah, your car out of gas. And then that's half a day for you.
Holy heck!
That happened in New
I'm
Zealand.
like, how do I calculate that? Do I leave it before the light goes on and then wait in the line, and then when I'm in the line, the light will be on?
You want to park? You want to go to a gas station at the bottom of a hill, so you could just coast.
Yeah. I live north and just go down the hill.
Wow, and so there's no fuel there, and is everyone going nuts, or is it just
so there's such stupid ass stuff like what happened when there was lockdown and people were panic buying. People are panic buying petrol. So there's so people will rock up with 3 jerry cans, filling them up. All the petrol stations only have a 35-pound limit now to how much you can buy, which is $70. So you can only fill up $70 because people are, there's stupid things. Also, there was a lady on TikTok and she was filling up a plastic bag of gas. I'm just like, well, when you put it down, it's just going to go what are you up to? You guys are crazy.
And the gas then will eat through the plastic.
Yeah, I'm just like, you guys are nuts, man. Just be normal.
Wow.
Be normal people. Jesus.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
What's it like coaching over there? Is it different to to people who we have at the gym? Are they more compliant?
I think at the moment they are, just because I'm I guess because I'm new, so no one's really saying much at the minute. But there are a couple of guys there who are a bit play up, they have a bit of banter and stuff with the coaches and stuff. They haven't done that with me yet, but I'm sure once I get to know people, as you guess, you coach the class as a new person, then it's not as, I don't have that banter with them yet because I don't know everybody, but it's slowly starting to kind of.
Were you nervous on your first one?
I was real nervous. I was like, man, I've done this for 3 years.
What were you nervous about though?
It's just I don't know. I think it's just because I didn't know anybody. It was just and then so usually when I was at 808, because I had really good relationships with everyone, I could just banter with people and have fun with it and all that kind of stuff. And here, I don't really know everybody, so I was
was it dry?
making sure I was doing everything, but then I also, I don't want the class to be super quiet and awkward the whole time.
Yeah. Hard. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, but it's all good. It's pretty all good now.
Was there any moments where you were you kind of dropped the joke and no one laughed and you were oh, just me?
Yeah. So I'd have a bit of a sort of banter with somebody, and then they just kind of look at me, and I'm like, no, not funny here. Nope, it's a Māori joke and you don't get it.
Oh, I can so imagine that. I
So it's like shit like that. I just don't know how to like banter with people over here quite as well. But
Kenny, you're one of probably like not the most. I'm pretty awkward, but you're pretty awkward too. But when there's people that are both awkward, that's the fun. So you just need to own it. Just be like, this is awkward.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh, that's funny. That's good. Well, that's good then that you got your first one under your way and you're in there now.
Yep.
Now let's roll into this Ricky Garard, bro.
What are your thoughts, big guy? Yeah, man.
Thoughts. Yeah. I'm real excited for him to be back. I watched his. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I maybe watched about 15 minutes of his podcast that he did.
What a hard watch!
Yeah, it is. It was real hard to watch, so I turned it off just because it was. I don't know. He seemed very. I don't know if awkward was the right word, but like I don't know. He seemed very nervous and like he did seem genuine with what he was saying, but he just also that's what I thought. But he just seemed really nervous, and it made for this really kind of. It did make for a little bit of an awkward interview. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited and like I don't know, after listening to the first 10-15 minutes, it sounds like he was just like a typical, just like a young 22-year-old kid, naive, who just kind of just wanted to compete on the like highest competition floor and wanted to win. And so yeah, from the sounds of it, I know he did intentionally take drugs and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, not fair. But I think on the other side, I think it was just because he was young and didn't really understand the repercussions of it. And, you know, when you're young, you don't understand like the repercussions of what can happen if I just do this little thing.
Do you think it'll make for a good comeback? Like, do you think it's going to be a good story for a good comeback? Because that's what they're naming. That's all I've seen is like, oh, this is going to be a comeback, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait and see.
Yeah, because I mean,
the proof will be in the pudding.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just excited because he's, I think there's not really another dude like him. Like him and his brother are like super fiery people. They're kind of like they're like the Conor McGregor of CrossFit kind of thing. Like they're real fiery and real like. Not afraid to talk smack about people. I don't think CrossFit doesn't really have anyone like that. Everyone's pretty like
like there's no characters,
pretty normal or pretty no one's really like out there like that. So I reckon.
I think that if you are going to play that character, you've got to be good at understanding yourself. Because if you're putting on this, because then you can notice the difference between ego and the difference between if it's real or not. Because like it's like Stylebender is a good example for me to explain this, is that he can put on that like talk shit, da 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 da, I'm gonna beat you, say horrible things, but then still be real to himself. It doesn't make him go, oh my god, now I've got to overcompensate and add more. Do you know what I mean? I felt like Ricky Garard he was like, I'm already in it, I've just got to follow through now and just keep adding on more shit and more shit and more shit. But it's exciting for the sport, right?
Yeah, and I mean it'll be cool to see what he can do, because I mean like after listening to that thing, the drugs that he did take, even though they were like on the illegal side, they didn't even seem like hard out performance enhancing ones. So like, man, like if he like 4 years if he's been training half of 4 years, the last 4 years, it'll be fucking mean to see where he's at the moment. And I know like last year? He did like a mock games. He was doing the games alongside the other guys. And like I won, and I know it wasn't official, but I mean one of the events he beat Matt Fraser. Yeah. Like it was like the snatch or overhead squat in the run or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I reckon it's
besides the drugs, do you think he's a good athlete?
Yeah, hard out.
Yeah.
I reckon he's got hard out. I reckon he'll just I think maybe what will let him down is his lack of competition experience, obviously, because he hasn't been in it for 4 years. Yeah. But what do you think, Abe? What's your thoughts?
My sentiments follow yours exactly. It's, CrossFit doesn't have a bad guy. He doesn't have the, the narrative is always everyone's goody two shoes, and everyone's like, everyone's the Avengers.
Yeah.
He's like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like the anti-hero. And that's the best way that I can describe him. But this year will be, if he doesn't pull through and place really well, I don't think that the comeback will be a comeback. He'll just fall into being a regular competitor that will always have a stigma attached to his name by the drugs thing. What was I going to say? It's just come off me. But it'll be an interesting scenario. It's definitely popcorn watching. You know what I mean? And I reckon. So yeah, if he had not have done the drugs ban, and if he had been coming through normally like everything else, I don't think Matt Fraser would have got his fight.
True.
Yeah. I reckon Ricky Garard, because that's how good he was.
Do you think Ricky Garard was the closest to him with like in that year?
Oh yeah, by far. He was the one that would have. He was the one that was he was the next thing. He was the exploding athlete. Like Pat Valdner and Bukowski back then were amazing athletes. There's nothing against them. But, you got to have that little bit extra. And he had something extra back then. Whether he has that now, I don't know. We'll find out in December.
Yeah,
but he was that. And I would definitely say that he would have beaten Matt Fraser in at least one or even a couple of those years of his dominance.
He's already like solidified the narrative, right? Because he's the bad guy. He's already drawn us in because we're talking about it. Like I don't like him, but I'm going to watch him, right? It's that.
If I was him, man, I'll be playing up on it. I'll be totally playing up on it. I'll be like, yeah, man, you guys are all going to trick me. Like I can't sway your thinking.
Yeah.
So, like you said before, it's going to be me, but I'm going to be me in a way that you're not going to like. So.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, it was buzzy though.
But yes, when is the CrossFit Dubai CrossFit Championship? 16th of December. There it is.
Yeah.
Our top 3 males and female athletes to compete. Yeah. Who are your top 3?
There's an amazing list. I don't think all of it's come out yet either. But so far, I'll give you my top 3 female. And then, Canny, if you give me your top 3 female, we'll see what you think. I reckon for my 3rd place, I'm going to go with Andrea Nisler. So she was in CrossFit Mayhem's team. So it was training, and she was in the teams. So it's her first real foray into individuals, and she's a freakish athlete. So I think, her kind of coming out party in the individual scene, I think she's going to get a 3rd. I've got Danielle Brandon.
Oh yeah, I like Danielle Brandon.
And then I've got
will come up from Carly.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna. This will be a make or break, but Laura Horvath for first.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Go, Canny.
I had for 3rd. I had like a 3rd equal. I couldn't decide between these 2. Was Danielle Brandon and Gabriella Magala.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her heat. When I watched the games, I saw her doing. Her name just seemed to come up all the time, like somewhere near the top.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, and then I had a look the other day, and she actually came. I think she came 6th.
Oh,
6th overall. I was like, oh yeah, well, she'll be pretty gangster. My 2nd was. Oh, I don't know if I should do 2nd and 1st. Well, I've got Kristen Holter.
Oh.
And nice. I've got Laura Horvath as well. Those are my those are my 3, I guess.
I feel like Danielle Brandon is going to be an underdog through and through. Like I feel like she's the one that's going to be hovering around the top. You know how like Jamie Green kind of just hovered, didn't make any too many moves. She executed really well. Did the things that she needed. May have had like a bad event, but I reckon Danielle Brandon's something of the next couple of years to watch. What about that young girl? Is it the
there's Emma.
Yeah, the one the McQuaid girl that bet Tia in that wall walk one. Is she competing?
Oh no, that's Mel O'Brien.
Yeah, that's that 18-year-old, eh?
Yeah, but she's not competing.
And I just seen
Haley Adams is.
Haley Adams is. I just seen that what's her name? Carrie Pierce will be back. So, like there's all those athletes like Carrie Pierce, the Doris Daughters, the Catrins. Like, what do you think of them now? Like, do you feel like they're peaked too soon? Or like, they peaked earlier and now they're just like competing for the love of CrossFit? What are your thoughts on that? Like, just a little segue off until we go into the men's.
It's like watching, like when Dan Carter was an amazing rugby player, like, that Lions tour, I can't remember what year it was, and he was just like flying. And then for about 3 or 4 years after, he was really like, he was the best rugby player in the world, and he was just amazing. And then he kind of was still really good, but he just didn't have that step that he did. He had games experience, right? He was an incredible match athlete, but he just didn't have that X factor because, he was a little bit older, some niggles, the muscle weren't as useful and exuberant as they would be. I feel like that's where those athletes are. I mean, Sarah Sigmund's daughter is coming back for this event. I don't think she'll even place in the top 10. Yeah. Personally, I just, coming out of an ACL, she's 28, 29. Yeah. That's, in that circle, that's not the easiest to be able to come back from. So, yeah.
You're going to have a Masters one soon. Anyways, sorry. What's your top 3 males?
Shall I go first? Yeah. I've actually got I've got a top 3 and I've got a couple of favorites. I'm excited to watch. Top
Zach
3.
George,
Hey? Oh, I only saw him the other day. He's not actually on my list, but I had a look yesterday and I was like, oh, Zach George. I don't know he was going. But my top 3 are Roman Krenikov. I don't know how to say his name. The Brazilian kid. Young Brazilian kid.
The one that got the snatch.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
I can't say his name. And then the other guy was Lazar Dukic, I think his name is. Dukic. Yeah. I thought he did really well at the games. Yeah, he came 7th overall. So I saw he did really well. I think Roman is I reckon he's really good, but he's never got a chance to compete properly against games athletes just because of his visa always. I mean, how many years has he qualified for the games and he's never gone?
3 years. Yeah, he's never gone.
Yeah, and he's never got a chance to go because of his visa. But yeah, I reckon he'll be nuts. And then the Brazilian kid, I reckon he'll be. There's another guy there, Tola. He was on the demo team. I reckon him and the Brazilian kid, if there's a strength event, those two will have a real showdown because Tola's got something stupid like a 145 snatch or something, and their Brazilian kid's real strong as well. So, I think Tola's one of my favorites. Zach George, I only saw him the other day, and he's always been one of my favorites because he does crazy workouts. And then obviously it'll be cool to see Ricky Garard for the first time coming back. I don't know if he'll place. But yeah, it'll be cool to watch him again.
Yeah. Yours, Chief?
I've actually got a third equal. I've got Ricky Garard and Willie George.
Willie George.
As my top as my third, fourth. They'll be really close. I've got Meireles as the Brazilian kid.
Yep.
And then I've got Jeffrey Adler first.
Oh yeah, I read him down and I was like, oh nah.
Adler.
I don't know. I think
he got second.
He's the big American guy, eh?
No, he's the Canadian. He got second at when they did the top five male female at the ranch last year due to COVID. Yeah, he got second to Matt Fraser. Yeah, he's a little dude, tiny little. He's super strong. Yeah, he's kind of come out of nowhere, and but he had a really bad run at the game. So I haven't seen what he's been doing lately, but he's kind of. I like to see him. I think Willie George. I think Zach George would be amazing to watch, but he's just the meathead, and I haven't seen him actually compete. I don't know if he's going to be that amazing. And then the last one that I'm quite interested in seeing is Jason Smith. He's a young American guy that was coming through, and there was big raps on him, but he never really kind of broke through. So it'd be interesting to see if this is his time. He's 24, 25, so he's kind of now at the age where he's quite matured. So it'd be interesting to see if he kind of, makes some waves. I don't know if he'll place, but he might get a couple of top 3 event finishes.
True.
All this
So
analysis for you this morning.
how much does that Brazilian kid weigh?
Oh,
you
I
think?
don't know. He's just been
He's
training
tiny,
at the CrossFit
isn't
Mayhem, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started following, like I've told Dave this, I started following him when he was in the teen division.
Yeah.
He's the one, if you look at it, I don't know if you can look it up, but he did a 290 snatch when he was like 17 or something at the CrossFit Games, stood it up, and then he dropped it and then dabbed at the same time. Like what he did at he did at the Games. And it went viral. And then that's when I first, and I was like, oh, I'm going to start following him. So I started following him. And bro, he's wicked. Like he's an animal. He's so strong. And just like and the way he moves really well. And I was like, man, he can be real good one day. Well, he is real good. He can probably possibly win it.
Yeah, here we go.
Is it in the team division?
He
wasn't in the team division.
He's 90 kilos.
He's 90 kilos. He's 177 centimeters. So what's that? 5'8"? 5'9"?
Yeah.
So is that how tall is that in comparison to someone we know?
Oh, that would be like Ben
Levi's
Jansen.
height? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, like that kind of. He's got like that frame. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's strong, eh? He had his form was amazing to watch.
Like the best one there, eh?
Yeah, like it was really.
His lightest one looked like his last one, his heaviest one. It was crazy.
I'm excited. I hope he does damage. Like I hope he is on the ride up now. Like I hope he's riding that wave up. Do you expect to see an appearance from Jamie Green anytime soon? Maybe next year?
It depends. She had elbow surgery, so
yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with it, but it would be a while, I think, before we would maybe at the Open. We'd probably be her first kind of foray, and I don't even think that would be a full blast version of what we'd see of Jamie Green. I think this would be if she does the Open, she'll do enough just to get to the next level, and then from there build.
Yeah,
so you have to get through the Open and the quarters, and then from there it's like, I don't know what the UK scene's like, but it would be tough.
Yeah, hard.
I know, because she's got her passport, so she'd have to go off New Zealand.
She could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, she has to. Yeah.
What's your most disliked training movement from you both?
Dumbbell overhead squats. They're the worst invention on planet Earth. It is
Are we doing most hated? The one that we don't like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, carry on. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, dumbbell overhead squats. I have heart palpitations every time I see them written. That's why I write them so much now, because it's forcing me to like them. It's a movement that if you have neglected any form of good pattern of movement, you'll get exposed. It's one of the most brutally exposing workouts you'll ever see. I mean, you just have to look at when we did New Zealand
movements, eh?
Yeah, you look at New Zealand Nationals when everyone went to do overhead squats, and we couldn't. Like it was, especially that first year we did them, and I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
We're for a hard ride. So yeah, dumbbell overhead squats. I'm much better at them now, but 3 years ago I was like, yuck. Still yuck.
What about you, Kenny?
Yeah. So if we're going off our worst movements that we dislike, that would be one. But just to be different, I think mine will be a dumbbell squat snatch. Just because it's just harder just because like at least with the overhead squat you can kind of like stabilize it and then try and go down. But when you have to squat snatch it, it's just trying to catch in the right position when you've got bad shoulders is just a no-go.
Yeah, it's because it's moving fast, eh?
Yeah.
And you're just looking at going, oh, here we go, AC pop, dislocated shoulder, ready, pop, and go!
Yeah.
How do you get good at them?
Work so much on good pattern of overhead movement with like squatting, like making sure you get a nice vertical position, making sure your shoulders are really mobile and good as opposed to out here. It is just doing the little things really well and often. and building to it, especially if you suck at it now. It is not a movement that you can do really well in a month. Yeah. It's a movement that you got to say, in a year, I'm going to get really good at.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I even think that, like, even just for tall limbed or long limbed people in general, it's just always going to be a hard movement. Only because it's like, if you've got short femurs, you can generally stay upright in your squat. So, like, you can pretty much stay like this. But then if you've got longer legs, you kind of have to tip forward slightly, which means that your arm needs to be back here somewhere to try and counteract the balance. So
it's a big balancing act, eh?
That's why I see. That's why Levi just pops them out like the air squats.
Yeah.
He just
that's why we made him and Amber do 50.
Yeah. That's right, because it was a rotation, eh? Because if he put it down, you had to go next. Yeah. You're not putting it down. Keep going.
Yeah.
Because I can't do what's on.
That's so true.
Not an option.
Yeah, not an option. Hold on to it.
You have to save me.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Canny, we're going to round up with quote of the day. Can you pick a number between... Oh, I just had it open before. Let's go between 57 and 67.
57 and 67. 57 and 67. 58.
Funny. Okay, quote of the day, team. 58. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Boom! Quote of the day for you for a Thursday morning. Thank you for joining us, Coach Canny. Hopefully the internet doesn't fall apart again on next Tuesday, so we can do Coach's Corner again. But thank you to everyone that joined us this morning. I hope you all have a beautiful day. We're in day 37 of our 75 hard.
Yes.
One step closer. You've got the group trainings tonight.
Halfway.
Do you want to brief anything about on the group trainings tonight?
Oh, yeah. So those that are on, just real quick. So there's one space available. So 5 p.m. is already locked out. 6 p.m. there's one space available. Remember, you can only book in 24 hours prior to that class, which means that it's to stop people from block booking session after session and allows other people an opportunity to come in.
Yeah.
But there has been some challenges with push press. If you can't log into it, there's a slight error that push press have. I've queried them. They've said it's from their end. So we're trying to get a resolution. If you are having problems, please DM me and I'll put your name on the list and we'll get that sorted today. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Other than that,
and don't forget that there's the selfie challenge. If you want to win a pack of Killcliff, take a selfie after your workout, and you'll be in to win that. But other than that, we'll be back for tomorrow morning, Friday Banter session going down. Have a good day.